Think about this for a second. If Australian authorities asked for your fingerprints and your iris scans to keep forever, would you give them up?
A revolutionary change that gave a digital identity to each and every person without any discrimination of caste, creed, class, or of being rich or poor.
This is the reality for most people living in India at the moment. And I know because I handed mine over when I lived there too.
This is none other than the world's largest digital identity revolution. Aadhaar. My Aadhaar. My identity.
And I'm not the only one. 99% of Indians, according to the department that governs this biometric system, have signed up. That's a whopping 1.3 billion people. It means my most personal details went into this immense Aadhaar database. Now, the Indian government says it's to enable more people, especially the poor, to access government and financial services like food rations or bank accounts.
Whereas earlier, one needed a number of cards for different tasks. Today, all identity-related work can be done with Aadhaar.
But technology and privacy researchers say this allows surveillance at a scale that's not been seen before in a democracy.
It surprises me immensely how casually this project is being just, spread across all kinds of domains, all manner of databases being made, everything being linked up using the UID number.
Usha Ramanathan is a lawyer and human rights activist who's been campaigning against Aadhaar.
It surprises me because, it's only very recently that we had a newspaper recognizing that a breach of this kind of data is a national security threat. Many people can get at it and you won't even know.
Getting my Aadhaar card was pretty simple. I just went to one of the government centres, scanned each of my fingers, did an iris scan, and then went on my way. But I pretty much felt like I had to, because it wasn't really clear what the consequences would be if I didn't. Would I be able to use my bank account? Would I be able to use my phone? There was just a lot of uncertainty.
Apart from the public distribution system and scholarships and things, they also said that you can't get married, you can't get a caste certificate, you can't get a domicile certificate, and went on for a while. Then the court stepped in and said that, you can't compel people, you can't deny people any service because they are not enrolled. But they went ahead nevertheless and kept saying that they will deny. And what is very interesting in this is how all the way to the bottom, from the top, the system absorbed this. And so anywhere you went, they would say, no, you have to give your UID number or else we can't give you yourself. So it was a lot of bullying, scaring people, fear-mongering, coercion.
Part of the government's reason for bringing in the Aadhaar system has been to eliminate fraud, like people duplicating identities to collect double the services they're owed, or the issue of leakage, where entitlements are diverted by corrupt bureaucrats.
Now, the centre has issued a warning against sharing the photocopy of your Aadhaar card. The information can be misused by organizations.
And while the government has said the biometric databases are foolproof, there's been evidence of fraud continuing. But they won't provide data on how much fraud or human error plagues the system. Prasanna S. is an advocate in India's Supreme Court. He advises petitioners in Aadhaar cases.
There have been no studies, or even if there are studies, it is there have been no reports, and even if there are reports and they are not in the public domain, there is now no data about the Aadhaar system itself. Even as the state becomes more and more data hungry, where the citizens are now forced to give their part with their personal data for any purpose under the sun, you see that there is a movement towards the state becoming less and less transparent.
The question becomes, what is all this data, collected like a dragnet and cross-referenced with other data, going to ultimately be used for?
In Telangana, they started linking the UID number with the voter ID number. And in that process, they dropped a large number of people saying these are all, the voter IDs were dropped saying these are duplicates, these are fakes, these are ghosts. And it was very close to the elections. There wasn't enough time for people to go and get redress on that. And in Telangana, the kind of model that they are coming up with, it's become like a police state where you're walking on the street and they can just take a picture and then send it across to see whether you're on any suspicious database. So it's not the stuff of which freedom is made.
Now, I don't live in India anymore, so the government doesn't need to keep my personal data. But once you're in the system, there's no getting back out.
So the UID is one system which is a really, really remarkable system which says you can opt in. In fact, you're not opting in, you get in. And you cannot opt out. There is no opt-out mechanism from